G'day, Bob. Thank you for showing us around the joint.
Welcome.
This is without doubt the most impressive and certainly priceless foyer I've been in all of DC. The artefacts here are phenomenal. Let's start with this one, the Spirit of St. Louis. Tell everyone in Australia, what the hell is that?
That is a Ryan NYP for New York to Paris. And in this airplane, Charles Lindbergh became the first person to fly nonstop, solo, across the Atlantic.
While there's a lot of museums that will show examples of things, that's the real one. And that's the rule for everything here.
Yes, everything we have is the real thing. There's no windscreen.
Yeah, so he was just flying on instruments.
Yes and no.
Like direction. How does he know where he's going?
There is a little periscope on the side of the airplane that would come out, but most airplanes, especially light airplanes, when they're flying, they're never flying straight because the wind's always blowing.
Of course.
So you're always crabbing into the wind just a little bit.
Yeah.
He was literally just leaning out the window or looking that way.
What do you think is the most underappreciated part of this display? Obviously, everyone's drawn to the Spirit of St. Louis.
I know that
what's a little something that you don't think gets enough props?
One I know even our staff sometimes doesn't quite appreciate so much is that kind of boring-looking olive drab and gray airplane hanging up there. That's the Bell XP-59 Era Comet. It's America's first jet.
Really?
It's not the first jet.
But it's America's.
But it's America's first jet. And that flew on October 1st, 1942, using two British little engines.
Wow.
But that very plane is the original one. So you could argue convincingly that all of American jets have descended from that airplane. And this belonged to Amelia Earhart.
Wow.
This is the one she piloted when she became the first woman and only the second person to fly nonstop solo across the North Atlantic. And she did it 5 years to the day after Lindbergh did.
Wow.
So it was May 20th, 1932.
How does the museum source something as amazing as this?
We've been collecting since 1920, actually even earlier, and we get them various ways, mostly donation.
What are we having a look at now?
We're looking at the world's first airplane, the
Wow.
original Wright 1903 Flyer.
Wow.
That's it. That's the first airplane.
See, even though you've seen that thousands of times, I mean, for me, that's like seeing Michelangelo's David. That's like seeing the Eiffel Tower. That's one of the...
It's one of the truly remarkable creations of humankind. I mean...
Do you still get a buzz seeing?
Yeah, I really do.
Why did this plane work? Why was this able to do what others couldn't?
Well, first off, it barely worked. This is a marginal airplane at best, but it did work. It worked because they taught themselves how to fly first. These guys were beyond smart.
Yeah. Well, thank God for them, eh?
They were also extraordinarily practical.
Now, Bob, amazingly, 66 years later, from that Wright brothers plane, we're on the moon.
We're on the moon.
This is moon-worn, space-lived, one owner.
One owner, yeah, low mileage.
Neil Armstrong's spacesuit.
That's it. That's the first suit touched the moon.
Wow.
Armstrong was wearing that when he became the first human to walk on the moon.
Wow. All about space.
Yes, this is our space hall.
So give me an idea. Point at some of the stuff we've got here, because this is something to behold.
This black and white rocket here actually is a V2. It's one of 60 that we captured from the Germans in World War II and brought back, along with their scientists.
Yes.
The Soviets did the same thing. Our missile pit, the large one in the middle, is a Jupiter C, which was our first successful rocket. It put Explorer 1, our first satellite, into orbit. This did succeed for us.
Geez, you've lucked out. You could fit it. Just touches the roof.
Just barely. If it didn't go down to the basement, it's really, really tight.
I am inspired by what the human brain can come up with, and I am moved by what America has been able to do, what Americans have been able to do. This is one of your many gifts to the world.
Well, thank you, but it's not all us. Aviation and space, it took the whole planet to do it.
So what's next?
Who knows? But we'll collect it.